there's a scene that is raising concerns from fans, and pretty much people is demanding answers from none other than WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Let me pull up this picture right here, guys, because this one right here is crazy, bro. I mean, just crazy.
It was blatant, brutal, and it happened right in front of thousands of screaming fans and live cameras. Caitlin Clark, America's most watched rookie, was shoved to the ground in a move so obvious, fans thought the whistle was a given. But no foul, no call, nothing. The referees stood frozen as if it didn't happen, and in that moment, the internet erupted. Footage filmed by a fan courtside spread like wildfire across Twitter, TikTok, and ESPN, because what everyone saw wasn't just a hard play, it looked personal. And when the league stayed silent, the backlash exploded. One grainy fan video, just one angle, was all it took to detonate social media. The clip showed Caitlin Clark being violently shoved mid-play, landing.
Caitlin Clark gets pushed around, thrown to the floor during games, and teammates are standing there just looking, not doing anything. Sophie Cunningham will do something. While other players get a microphone put in front of them, doing their media interviews, while they regurgitate the same nonsense, the same word salad that Stephanie White lies says, Sophie Cunningham will say, no.
Hard on the court while trying to recover possession. You can hear the fan filming it scream, "Yo, refer you blind." The camera zooms in as Caitlin slowly gets up, clearly in pain, while the game continues like nothing happened. No whistle, no technical, no review. Within hours, that video had racked up millions of views. Influencers posted it with captions like "targeted," "jealousy is real," and "this isn't basketball." It wasn't a gray area moment. It was a clear full-on. The fact that it was ignored turned it into something much bigger than just another play. And that reaction, instant and unforgiving. NBA stars like
right here, that has went viral. Yeah, this is the storybook of Caitlin Clark's season, bro. That's just all I can say. Look at this. Somebody said this shot from the Fever versus the Fever versus Dream game. Look at Caitlin's face as she passes the ball. She's literally on her knees. Somebody's hovering over her back. Somebody said it's 1 in 15 missed foul calls. This is ridiculous. And this right here shows you that the WNBA referees has a hidden agenda against Caitlin, bro. It's just simple as that.
LeBron James and Kevin Durant reposted the video with eyes wide emojis. WNBA legends started commenting on how out of control the targeting had become. Sports hosts across networks ran segments titled, "Why is Caitlin Clark being treated like this?" Fans weren't just mad, they were angry. Threads began popping up everywhere, accusing the league of failing to protect its most valuable player. Even seasoned analysts admitted they hadn't seen this level of blatant disregard for a rising star in years. The narrative was no longer about a missed call. It became a full-blown debate about athlete, safety, favoritism, and the league's integrity.
So, the big way they were able to neutralize Caitlin Clark, and I think it was almost an issue with Stephanie White as much as anything, is they were manhandling her. They were manhandling Caitlin Clark early in that game. Like, they had two hands on her. They were fully getting into the "we are grabbing her and we don't really care." Like, that was their goal. Their goal was they were out there to maul Caitlin Clark. They had they had absolutely no intention of doing anything other than mauling Caitlin Clark.
Because let's be real, this wasn't an isolated incident. The fan video may have gone viral, but it was just the latest in a series of aggressive, borderline dirty plays aimed at Caitlin Clark. Elbows to the ribs, shoves during drives, shoulder checks after the whistle, and time after time, no foul. In fact, fans began compiling receipts. YouTube and TikTok flooded with clips showing moments where Caitlin was clearly targeted, yet the refs let it slide. Clark Attack compilation became a trending search term. One YouTuber even posted a breakdown called WNBA's Silent War on Caitlin Clark, and the comments were flooded with people saying the same thing. This is hazing. This is jealousy. This is punishment for being too good. And when you look at the tape, it's hard to argue otherwise. But what made everything worse was the silence. The WNBA stayed completely quiet. No comment. No disciplinary review. No acknowledgement that the incident even...
They're doing into protective dancing, bro. Like, this is not real. Like this, well, it is real, but it shouldn't be real. Somebody said ref was just staring. And Kelsey Mitchell in the background was just standing there. I mean, just staring. Wow, bro. Somebody said these refs not serious at all.
Happened. Not a single Indiana Fever coach addressed it post-game. That silence sent a message, and fans heard it loud and clear. We don't protect her. The backlash grew uglier. The WNBA's Instagram and Twitter were flooded with angry comments. Hashtags like #ProtectCaitlin and #DoYourJob started trending. Even longtime supporters of the league began pulling back, saying they wouldn't attend another game until something changed. Then came the petition. Launched by fans, it demanded a league-wide response to targeted physical aggression against rookies. In under 48 hours, it had over 25,000 signatures. The message was simple. This isn't just a game anymore. This is accountability. While the league stayed silent and the internet burned, Caitlin Clark did what she's always done, let her game do the talking. No press statement, no angry tweets, no interviews calling anyone out. Instead, she walked into the next game like nothing had happened and dropped one of the most dominant performances of her...
Like, they were not out there to play legit defense. They were there to maul Caitlin Clark as much as they possibly could. And realistically, it worked. It worked. Like, it wasn't even like a lot of the stuff was a couple of off-ball fouls, but there were quite a few... There were quite a few situations where it was from behind. So you saw pictures like this. They literally had two hands on the back of Caitlin Clark's jersey. So if anytime Caitlin tried to move, it was two hands on her back. She couldn't move off the ball. She was being hacked off the ball, and the referees allowed contact with guards off the ball, which they shouldn't.
Season. 3-pointers from way downtown. Crossovers that left defenders frozen. Steals, assists, and a final buzzer beater that silenced every critic in the building. And the best part? Not once did she acknowledge the drama, but the fans noticed. The smirk after a made shot. The stare down at midcourt. The subtle head shake when a foul finally was called in her favor. Caitlin didn't need to throw punches. She threw daggers. And in doing so, she sent a message louder than any mic drop. You can't break me. You can't stop me. By this point, it wasn't just fans demanding answers, the pressure was on the WNBA itself. Mainstream media picked up the story like wildfire. Pundits began asking real questions. Are the referees trained to handle rising stars? Is there an unspoken culture of gatekeeping in the league? Insiders whispered that league executives were deeply concerned about the optics. Some suggested that certain veteran players or teams felt threatened by...
The Indiana Fever won by 17 points last night. 17. And this is how they played defense against Caitlin Clark all night. Jordan Canada, career game. Over 30 points. She had 6 made threes in the first half. She played defense like this on Caitlin Clark all night, despite the fact that Caitlin Clark played limited minutes. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, and helping lead her team to a 17-point win. This is how they played defense on her all night.
Caitlin's immediate popularity, jealous of her endorsements, her fan base, her press. Whether it was true or not didn't matter anymore. The damage was done. The internet had already made up its mind. And when that happens, public perception becomes reality. Even sponsors began watching more closely, because if Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's biggest star magnet, wasn't being protected, why would fans keep watching? That's when the conversation turned darker, from a missed call to a systemic problem. People weren't just mad about Caitlin, they were mad about what she represented. The conversation exploded across podcasts, forums, and mainstream outlets. Is there bias in the WNBA? Are certain players allowed to be physical while others are targeted for doing the same? Some critics said Caitlin Clark's treatment reflects a larger issue of race, power, and popularity. That she's being treated differently because she's white, because she's a rookie or because she threatens the league's status quo. Others argued the opposite, that the backlash was just growing pains for someone becoming a superstar overnight. But no matter where you stood, one thing was clear. This wasn't just about basketball anymore. This was about how the WNBA treats its stars and whether it's ready for the spotlight Caitlin Clark brings with her. So now, all eyes are on the next move. Will referees start...
Look at this!
You gotta be kidding me!
Like, what are we doing here? I tell y'all all the time. Every time people play the Indiana Fever, they do too much. Bree Jones almost took out like 3 people that game. Matter of fact, let's watch it again. Watch the flop. And I bet y'all gonna say, oh, it was an accident. Because every time somebody do something to somebody on the Indiana Fever, y'all say it's an accident. I know.
Calling these plays differently? Will the league step in and issue formal warnings or new player protections? Will coaches start defending their players more publicly? And most importantly, will Caitlin Clark keep quiet or finally speak out? Some believe she's saving her words for the right moment. Others think she doesn't need to say anything because every time she takes the floor, the world's already listening. But one thing is certain, this story isn't over. If anything, it's just beginning. And the way the WNBA handles what happens next could shape the future of the league for years to come. This wasn't just a missed foul. This was a moment that exposed everything. The jealousy, the silence, the bias, the fear of change. Caitlin Clark didn't fall because of one push, she rose in spite of it. And while the league stayed quiet, the fans didn't, the cameras didn't, the world didn't. Now the spotlight is brighter than ever. And every single player, coach, and ref is under it. Because if the WNBA wants to thrive, it can't just sell a star like Caitlin Clark. It has to protect her. And if they don't, well, fans will remember. The internet won't forget. And Caitlin, she'll just keep winning whether they like it or not.